Hey folks, I'm William. This is Runeforged. Welcome to the channel. Today we have a very special guest, Adrian Williams from the Dungeons and Dyslexia YouTube channel, which has very quickly become one of my favorite channels over the last year. Adrian, how's it going, man?
Yeah, good, Will. Thanks to actually have me on. I know we did a joint video a while back, which I'm sure we'll get onto later. But yeah, it's actually I think this is the first time we've actually sat down and chatted. So yeah, really looking forward to it. So thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I feel the same way. I feel like we've done a lot of stuff together recently. We did some reviews together. We've been playing a lot of actual play games together here and there, but we have not had a chance to just sit down and actually talk hobby stuff together. And I feel like that's a huge missed opportunity. So we should do that today.
Yeah, it's that big ocean in the middle. It
Yes.
causes variety because I think I could do a lot more if I was up at 2 o'clock in the morning with everyone over there. Because I more than 50% of my regular viewers and subscribers are there.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, but yeah, it's my wife would move tomorrow.
Really?
Yeah.
You never know.
Five kids in school and stuff. It's
yeah, no, I understand.
But yeah, if I moved to America, I'd be up north, central north somewhere.
Okay.
Wooden ranch, no one around me for 1,000 miles. Give me a shotgun, or whatever, and I'll just have fun shooting cans in the wind. That's
I understand the appeal for sure. But before we get too deep, I imagine almost all of my audience already knows who you are. But for maybe the handful of people that are watching this for the first time, you might just tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do.
Yeah, my name's Adrian. I run the YouTube channel Dungeons and Dyslexia. I've been doing it a year and, well, it's almost 2 years, but only really about 8 or 9 months where I've really been focusing on this. But yeah, the idea of the channel is I do reviews. I do a little bit of news now and again, but I try not to do news unless it's really important to me.
Sure.
Because I found some of the news ones, it feels very clickbaity. And I try, you look at my thumbnails. It just says review.
Yeah.
There's nothing said, best fantasy game, or I can't do it. I'm not very good at that clickbait stuff. It's but yeah, the whole idea of the channel was really, well, obviously I've been dyslexic my whole life. Didn't find out till I was 20, and it's been the one thing that's kind of not necessarily saved my life. I've had some dark years, just to go really dark really quickly in.
Yeah.
But role playing's been that constant thing that has kept me.
Yeah.
Sane, if sane's the right thing to say, given the way my family talk about me. But it's and I just kind of wanted to talk about it, and I actually now love reading.
That's so cool. And this is probably something you've had to train, right? Like a conscious effort to do this, right?
Well, yeah, but everyone does, because if you think across the planet, we are the only species that reads and writes, and most humans, up until 100 years ago, didn't read or write anyway.
Yeah.
So it was only really the church and the leaders and things like that. But most other countries didn't read and write. You look across different continents, and the reason we don't know much about their history other than archaeology is because they didn't write stuff down.
Yeah. So they wrote down stuff that was like perishable. They couldn't get access to. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's one of those things that, and I was very conscious all the way through school that all of my friends could just read and write. I don't know if they have it in America where when you're in English and they'll go, here's Shakespeare, and they go around the class and different people read. Yes. You have to read out loud.
For sure.
And I remember sweating and panicking.
Yeah.
Because when it got to me, I used to read the sections ahead, trying to guess where I would be so I could learn the words. And I can remember that even the pupils, even my friends and the teacher laughing when you get things wrong and joking.
The teacher, that sucks, man.
But I was at school 35, 36 years ago, and it was, I'd like to think it was a different time now. I didn't find out I was dyslexic till I was 20.
Right.
So second year at university, a lecturer was like, "Do you think you're dyslexic?" And I was like, "No, what's wrong with you?" But it's one of those weird ones because dyslexia has really come on over the years. And so when I was diagnosed, so I was 20, so it would have been 1991. No, 1994, somewhere around there. And dyslexia always had this snobbery with it. So basically, you were either intelligent and dyslexic, or you were stupid. Okay. Because the first thing they did, and because I've done a lot of reading dyslexia, and it's really helped bring up my speed for reading.
Sure.
But when I was younger, what they used to do is if you couldn't read and write properly, say that they always thought you were either just not bright, Where, if in reality, if you're not that bright and dyslexic, you're just doomed for life, unless you go on to become a plumber and use your hands, use something creative, which a lot of dyslexics are good for. But our education system isn't designed that way. It's all about going to sixth form, going to university.
Sure.
So they gave me an IQ test first. They didn't test me for dyslexia. They went, here you go, here's an IQ test.
Interesting.
And then once I achieved well enough, actually I came back at 149. So
those are big numbers.
Yeah, very big numbers. So they went, right, let's sit down and do your dyslexics test. You prove you're not an idiot. And I had the reading ability of a 13-year-old and writing ability of a 14-year-old at the age of 20.
Right.
And struggling through university. So I sat down, had some special lessons and things like that, and it really helped. But the big constant I've always had is reading role-playing books. And then I did a video a while back on, I don't know, it was one of my very first shorts, and I've left it up because I don't do a lot of shorts really. And I discovered the 5-minute rule.
Okay, tell us about the 5-minute rule.
Okay, so this works for going to the gym, cleaning the house, reading a book, and it's what I'm doing. So if you've got something you need to do but you don't want to do it, grab your phone. You can tell I'm old because I've got one of these phones with a
nice little case on it. Yeah.
But then I'm not buying screens every 6 months like my kids.
True.
Get your timer. Just put 5 minutes in. Grab your book or hit the gym, whatever it is you're going to do, and just go. And all you've got to do is read for 5 minutes.
Right.
Once that buzzer goes off, shut your book and go. And if you want to do an hour a day, all you got to do is do that 6 times during the day, and you've got to your hour. That's not right. Is it 12 times?
It would be 20.
12
I think. Yeah. There you go.
Yeah. To get to the magical hour. And that was that was my dream. So when I wanted to review a book for the channel, I was like, right, if I can do an hour of reading a day, because the more you train your brain, the faster you get. I can't speed read because when I read, I read the word out loud. So it's very slow when I do it. But yeah, but normally what starts to happen with the 5-minute rule is as the buzzer goes off, you just carry on reading because you're enjoying it.
Yeah. It's just like the anxiety around getting started, I think. And once you conquer that for 5 minutes, you're like, this is fine. I can just keep doing it.
Yeah, but if you don't want to do it for longer than 5 minutes, you just stop. It's a really good rule for doing anything. And I do it in the gym. It's like I go to the gym 6 times a week, but I've converted my garage, so it's not like I get dressed up to leave the house.
Right.
But quite often I'll go, I don't want to go to the gym today. 5-minute rule, right, just go and do chest for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And more often I'll be out there for 15 or whatever it might be. Sometimes I'm back in 5, sometimes it's an hour. So it's it's really, really helped from the reading point of view.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool.
But yeah, that's my long-winded explanation of my channel, and the reason for doing it really was I want to try and get to parents and especially children.
Yeah.
Because if we can get to children quicker, because our education system is not designed for dyslexics.
Yeah.
It's between 10 to 20% of the population is dyslexic.
Oh wow, I didn't realize it was that high.
Yeah. Teachers aren't trained for it though. And training in this country, a test in this country is nearly £400.
Yeah, that seems prohibitively expensive.
Yeah. So I thought, let's just go really. And then, like you say, I think the last sort of 9 months, it's kind of really exploded.
Yes.
Well, in our sort of numbers. That makes sense.
It's all relative, but yes, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I was going to ask you about that because I originally found your channel from your Shadowdark adventure reviews because we have kind of a similar niche that we have on YouTube. I love your reviews actually, and because they are so good, I've kind of dialed back on doing as many as I have been, and I've been doing other stuff. But your channel has really exploded over like the last 9 to 12 months in particular, and I was curious to what you contributed that success.
Okay, well, firstly, that's annoying that you've stopped doing your reviews because of me, because the problem with my reviews is I can take like a 60-page book and that review will be 40 minutes because I have to talk about every page. And your reviews will be half the time or quarter of the time because you're really good at summarizing something.
Thank you.
I can't, my brain will not let me turn over a page and not tell the viewer what something about that page is.
Sure.
Which is either, like you say, it's really good in a way because people get to see the whole of the book.
Yeah, I think that's really important actually.
But if you want to just get a quick gauge of, what a book's like, my channel isn't for you because I don't mean that. I don't mean don't watch me. But I can't. My brain will not let me just not do the. The big thing I would say, one thing the biggest mistake I made when I first got onto
Yeah.
YouTube, and this isn't a lesson learning, maybe it is, I don't know.
Sounds like it will be.
It's okay. It's from my experience.
Sure.
The thing I always thought is if you just put a video on YouTube, people will watch it.
Uh-huh.
But what people that don't realize about YouTube is YouTube just decides whether it wants to send out a video or not, and that seems to be utterly random. You know, on how far it pushes.
Uh-huh.
So if you are going to start a YouTube channel, you've got to think of it as not a TV station, which I always did. I always considered YouTube as a TV show.
Mm-hmm.
I watch whatever I want to watch. I don't interact. It's actually social media.
Yes,
it's
correct.
all about networking. It's about talking to other YouTube channels like we talk regularly. Get onto other people's Discords, talk to them there. Facebook, X, Blue Sky, whichever one that is.
Blue Sky.
I've got I'm across everything. I don't know what makes any difference. I really don't. I love making long form stuff.
Same. I hate shorts. I hate them with a passion. I don't like watching them. I don't like making them. Yeah.
No, totally. But I think, okay, the things that have made me grow, and this comes back from the feedback from other creators.
Good.
Is I think there are very few of us on YouTube that are non-D&D facing, because if we've talked about this before, if we were D&D channels, I'd probably have 10, 50 times the subscribers. Because and I'm not saying that we're not as good as them, and I don't mean it like that.
Sure.
But there are, D&D makes up 90% of the total sales of the whole of the industry.
Yeah, the total addressable market for anything other than D&D and sometimes Pathfinder is pretty small.
Yeah, and I like Dungeons and Dragons. I've been playing Dungeons and Dragons most of the time in the hobby. I much prefer Vampire the Masquerade. That's the route I took when I first started role playing.
Yeah.
I wasn't D&D. I did a little bit of second edition. Did a bit of 3.5, but World of Darkness, werewolves, vampires, Shadowrun. I was more that than everything else. I played 5th edition for quite a long time, but I think we are some of the few channels, and this is the feedback that I get given, that is willing to sit down with someone that's on Kickstarter, that no one's ever heard of, and because we like the look of it, and because we won't talk about something we don't like, and we're not getting paid. We talk about passion projects. Yeah. And I think I like listening to you. I love listening to Kieran at Foxoff because
Foxoff's great.
And Red Mage. All of us in that sort of small market, we're all talking about something because we like it.
Yes, correct.
And I generally think that is probably what helps, because as my wife says to me, I'm a terrible liar. She knows when I'm lying. Yeah. So. Someone's asked me, I've been asked a few times to review books. They've offered me money, and I always turn down money, and I always say I will review it if I like it. And if I don't like it, it's not that I can't put the camera on. I can't sit there and pretend to like something because I'm not good at it. Yeah. And it will show in my voice and everything else, and I won't be this, like the craziness that I can get in videos now. I get sidetracked and talk about something not related. Yeah. And then I don't think to edit it out. But that's And I think that's it. It's same with you. I'd love you to do more reviews. We both clearly, because you're starting to do a lot more interviews now. Yeah, and I love doing interviews. Me too. People.
It's my favorite part of this job. Yeah, for sure. I love just sitting down with people that have similar interests, and everybody's got such an interesting story. Like once you sit down and talk to them. I had John Clark on the channel the other day. He's like the guy who's doing the Dark Forest Kickstarter.
Dark Forest, yeah.
He like randomly worked at Riot Games, which is the company that makes League of Legends. He worked on the Arcane TV show that was on Netflix. So
okay.
It was just why did you not lead with this? But no, it's Dark Forest is also really great, and you should go check it out on Kickstarter. But I find it so interesting that people are so cool. Yeah.
Yeah, we were fortunate to get. I didn't actually interview him. I did a review copy. I think we were tagged in the same post, weren't we, on the Arcane Library Discord? Right. We were sent copies. Obviously, I did a review of it, did cover his Kickstarter, and he actually ran a one shot of Dark Forest.
I caught a little bit of it.
Yeah, I've got a second channel, so where I put all my live plays and all my Kickstarters on there, which is Dungeons and Dyslexia Tabletop Tales.
Yep, and we'll make sure to have links to both your channels down in the description for people who want to check them out. Yep.
So yeah, and he was. And I've sat with some amazing games masters, but I get this impression that he's probably a professional games master,
He
because we
is.
all got out. Oh, he is, yeah.
He is.
We got out of that, and we were like, God, I'm terrible at games master. We would. Because you were in the game with us, weren't you?
I don't think
Were
so.
you in Dark?
No.
Oh no, you weren't in Dark
No.
Forest, was it? But he's just his descriptions and his pacing. Sorry, someone's at the door, so my dogs are going mental.
You're good.
Is just absolutely brilliant, and I've never. So I don't watch Critical Role and all that, because I just don't have time.
Same.
I watched Vox Machina. I thought it's a really good cartoon. I was like, I've got to get him. Yeah. I've got to sit and watch Critical Role, and I just never seem to get round to it. I watched the Dungeon Dudes for years on Dungeons and Drakenheim, and they're really good. And you try and pick up hints, and I think probably the biggest thing about if I did sit and watch Matt Mercer is I'd probably just give up games mastering altogether and go, there's no point.
I feel like it's just such a different thing. Like, these guys are like professional actors, professional charming people, as I think Matt Colville refers to them. And it's just a very different game. Like, they're putting on a show. And it's not to say that it's any better or worse than anything else, but it's a very different style of game than what we're running. And honestly, I've really been enjoying these like actual plays that we've been doing on your channel. They're simple and grounded, but they're really cool folks, and it's just like a nice tight knit community, and I really appreciate that.
Yeah, someone joined my Discord the other day, and I can't remember your name, so I apologize. I'm terrible for things like that. And he was like, a bit intimidating being here. It's just full of really big creators.
That's
and stuff.
So funny. It's all relative too, right? Because like in the grand scheme of things, like Shadowdark is very successful, and Kelsey's done an amazing job. But compared to 5e and Pathfinder and Call of Cthulhu, like this is small potato kind of stuff. Even though we really love it, and it is a great community, it's really interesting to hear people say that.
Yeah, it was. I think Discord's a weird one for me, because I started it a little bit. I think I was just ahead of you with starting the Discord. But I'm on quite a few other people's Discords, and I always feel really conscious, I don't know if you're the same, that I don't have time to interact with other people's Discords because I'm too busy dealing with things going on my own. And then you'll see something from one of yours from like a week ago, and I didn't interact. That was quite, really cool comment. And you write something, I wonder what you're thinking now. I've only just noticed it a week on.
I don't think about that stuff at all. I know people are super busy. I love seeing comments from you guys and stuff on the videos, but I understand everybody's busy.
Yeah, we should just get rid of them all and just merge into one. That's probably the safest thing to do.
Yeah, it is. So I would love to do that, but it's nice to have your own space where you feel very comfortable sharing your own stuff. Definitely. Sometimes you need to be really respectful when you go into another creator's Discord to make sure you're not stepping on their toes. You're posting it in the correct channel. You want to make sure you get a good feel for whether or not they're okay with you using your affiliate links in there and stuff like that. So it can get a little bit tricky. So it's nice to have kind of your own space,
Yeah, but mine's a really weird Discord though, isn't it? Because I only have 2 rules.
Yeah, I don't think I have any rules. I've never had to address anything with anyone other than like art spammers and stuff. But I think everybody gets those.
Yeah, that's it. I have the don't be a dick rule.
Yeah,
and which is as it should sound, and that's my session 0 rule as well. It's like I'll get into it if I'm running a game. I go,
sure.
If you got anything you want to say, just don't be a dick.
Yep.
I won't be a dick as a games master. Don't be a dick as a player, and don't PM people trying to sell your art. If your art's good enough, I've got an art section.
Yeah,
post in there and see how you go. But I don't care about people coming on posting affiliate links and all that. You can stick whatever you want in there. The whole idea is to help the community and have a chat. I think Saturday just gone, I put a post up. I managed to find Krull was doing the rounds on YouTube. And so we just had like the conversation, and they were like, "We should watch this together." And I was like, "Do you sit and watch a film together with people?" I'm like, what a weird concept.
We do that all the time, actually. Not in that Discord, but in my personal Discord, we are constantly watching stuff together, and it's fantastic, especially for people that are long distance. Yeah, it's amazing.
I didn't know it was a thing.
Yeah,
because I thought, well, I'll watch it on my TV, and everyone will just watch it, and then we'll just talk to each other. But you don't. You actually watch it on Discord, share it on Discord, sit down. And I don't know what happened in the last half of the film because we were just talking rubbish.
Which is fine, especially if you've already seen it,
Yeah, but a lot of it was like, oh, do you think they just passed the... We were relating it to Shadowdark and different rule checks. And, and I was like, my wife's away this coming weekend, or last weekend, depending on when you watch this. So I'm going to propose we do another film because I think it's really good fun.
Yeah, I love it. It's great because I have a lot of friends that live like a couple hundred miles away, and we just don't get to see each other that often. And it's really nice to be able to just hop in and watch a movie together. That's like one of my favorite things during the week that we get to do. So if anyone has not
Yeah.
experienced this, please try it. There are some like legal stuff around it. Like technically, you're supposed to do some sort of watch party and stuff. So don't break any of the channel rules. Don't come back to me and tell you they got you in trouble or whatever. Do the way it's supposed to be done. But it's a really cool experience.
Oh, now I'm in trouble.
You're fine.
So
sure, I'm sure you were following all of the rules, and it's no big deal. But
yes, yeah. I probably need to look up what the rules are around it, but
you're good. So I wanted to talk a little bit more about why you think the channel is so successful. One of the things that I really admire about what you do is that you are incredibly consistent when it comes to your uploads. There was a very long period there where you were posting a video every single day, and even now that you've scaled it back a little bit, aren't you doing like 2 or 3 uploads a week or something crazy like that?
If you include my other channel, which is why I've scaled it back, I'm normally between 5 and 6 a week.
That's crazy, man. So that's a lot of content to be putting out in a week. Do you have like any insights for people about like how you're able to do that in addition to the crazy amount of stuff that's going on outside of this in your life?
Okay, so do you want to know what my typical day looks like?
I would love that. I think the audience would too.
And my day is the same whether it's a Monday or a Sunday.
Yeah.
Okay, so I get up at 6, regardless of what happens.
Mm-hmm.
So if we go out on a Saturday night and we're up till 2 o'clock in the morning drinking loads of baby Guinness, which doesn't happen that often, but when we do, we kind of hit it.
Yeah.
Drink sensibly. But I'll still get up at 6. Dogs need walking. So first hour of my day is I get up, take the dogs out. I'll then come home, I have coffee, sit on the sofa, scroll through YouTube comments, responding to comments, respond to Discord comments. I'll then do half an hour to 45 minutes of cardio. And while that, I'm sort of watching videos, planning potentially what I'm going to be videoing that day, because I record a video every day.
Nice.
Not every day. So sometimes I might miss a day because we're doing something.
Sure.
I'll then basically turn my laptop on, and I'll do an hour to 2 hours of work of my proper job. So I've got 3. Well, I've now got down to 2 proper jobs. I'll then go and take the dogs back out for their second walk because they need 2 a day. And whether I take them at 10 o'clock in the morning or 4 o'clock in the afternoon, they don't care. As long as they get a second walk, they stop bugging me. I'll then go for a half an hour power nap.
Nothing wrong with that. I love a good nap.
I'll get up. I'll do another hour's worth of work with a coffee. I'll go and do anywhere from 5 minutes to an hour in the gym. 4 o'clock, I stop working, and I'll sit and read. We have a dinner as a family every night at 5 o'clock.
That's nice.
Won't be tonight, and I'll read between 4 to 5. So that's me planning tomorrow's video.
Gotcha.
Okay, and then the evening, I'm either playing or online or doing something else. Because my evenings tend to be review, sort of interviews, live plays, things along those lines. Or I'm playing with my friends. I play with my friends on a Sunday and a Tuesday night. And I will do that every day of the week. And Saturdays, we might have family stuff on because obviously the kids are off school, but most of the day is set. And then Sunday, somewhere, I've got to get my weekly video in, which is one of my favorite videos to record.
Yeah.
Because where I'll have my topic and stuff. And it's normally, other than finding the topic, it's quite a relaxing video to do. And then I'm back out Sunday night. But so that's my day. So at 11 o'clock, I'm bed. You know, my wife will come in, she's just poured another glass of wine, and I'm going, oh, do you want to go to bed? And she'll go. Because basically, at 10 o'clock at night, I sit down in the room with her. Right. That's it. She doesn't work. So we're at home interacting all day, every day, if that makes sense. So it's not like I avoid her. So it was funny because when COVID kicked in, I was on about it with someone the other day. People suddenly realised they hated their wives. Oh, because they were suddenly stuck at home for, you know, a year and a half. And we'd always been at home together. She's a full-time mom. She brought up, you know, she brings up the children. Yeah. I provide the money and everything else, and that's the way it always goes. But I'm very disciplined. My eldest son's girlfriend, who's a psychologist, will say it's more to do with my isms than anything else. I've never been assessed, and I generally don't know. Yeah. But it does go very much hand in hand with dyslexia and a variety of other things that I do have. But I am very conscious that once I get bored of YouTube, you just won't see me on YouTube again.
Yeah.
If I take a week or 2 weeks off, I may never come back to this.
I totally understand.
Yeah, it's so that's I'm kind of doing it while I enjoy it.
Yeah, 100%.
And I can only store one book in my head at a time, which is how I also review. I was talking to Pookie about it, because Pookie will read several books, and he does several reviews at once.
He has like 1,000 reviews or something on his channel, something insane like that.
Yeah, 2,000 or 3,000 reviews. So,
Madness.
So for example, if I was to take, look, it's still sealed because I don't always open stuff on PDF. So what I tend to do is I will at 4 o'clock I'll go, right, I'm going to read this, get an idea for it and stuff. Sure. And sort of power through for an hour, because I can with my 5-minute rule, it's out. I can do an hour's worth of reading without falling asleep. I don't know if you like, when I used to read, and then within 10 minutes, you're like,
if I'm reading late at night, that'll happen to me. But if I'm reading during the day, it's usually not that bad.
And I can store a book really well in my head to then regurgitate it back out to the video. Mm-hmm. But where I have issues is on like a Sunday night if I'm running something as a games master. So I'll prep the Sunday, and then I'll play Shadowdark the Sunday night or whatever it may be. Come the Monday, I can't remember the rules for the game I was going to review.
I am 100% the same way. I can only play one game at a time. And if I try to do anything else, all the memories of the other stuff just completely go away. So I understand where you're coming from.
Yeah, so that's really why I record the amount I do. I record it while it's fresh.
Good. I think that's a good strategy.
Yeah. So when are you going to come back to recording reviews now then?
I don't know. So I think there's a couple different things going on. One is that I've just been really focused over the last couple of weeks on like health and fitness stuff. I'm like trying to like get back in shape again, and that's been a majority of my time. I think that's a much more important thing for me to focus on right now than this YouTube channel, which is just something I kind of do for fun. And also, like, I found that I think I might be falling out of love a little bit with Shadowdark. I think it's a phenomenal game, and it's great for a certain style of play. But the more I play with my group, the more I start to see, like, this is not really the thing that they would love to be playing. They just really do it to humor me because this is what I want to run. There's like, I have some concerns, like, if I do start covering other stuff on the channel, like other games, I just don't know, like, what's going to happen to the momentum of the channel. So I really have to sit down and figure out, like, what that's going to look like. So I think a combination of those two factors is kind of why I've been staying away from reviews recently.
Okay, do you want my advice?
Sure.
Okay, so take the advice from a man that's far older than you are. So, yes, focus on your fitness. It's something I've always done. Since I was a kid, I've always been very much in. It's why I got into role playing late. You know, I was in all the football teams, rugby teams, cricket teams, variety of other stuff. I then broke my shoulder, and I can't do a lot now other than, cardio, hitting the gym and things like that. Like all of us, we do martial arts for years. Then I re-broke my broken shoulder in the dojo. So I don't do anything. I don't do anything now. My shoulder is like hanging on by a thread. They've basically said if I break it again, they're gonna have to replace it with a plastic one. So they like sawed off my chunk of my collarbone because where I broke it, I've actually broken the socket out. There's like a huge gap. So I'd like swimming in it, just like fall out.
That does not sound fun.
Focus on that, but record the videos you want to record.
Sure.
You're already funded. Funding is the hardest thing. So whatever you do, you're always going to make a little bit of money. People think that YouTube pays more than it doesn't. It doesn't for us.
No.
Seriously. But I kind of decided very early on. I'm a bit like you. If I do Shadowdark stuff, I gain more off Shadowdark, but I think I've always done non-Shadowdark stuff as well.
Yes, you have good variety.
So I came into Shadowdark very late. I remember seeing the Kickstarter, and I was like, what is this? This game looks rubbish. It's a gimmick. I'm not backing it. I wasn't interested. And then it came out, and people started talking about it, and I was like, I'll give it a go. And I read it, and I was like, okay, I think sounds quite good. And then I ran it, and I was like, wow, seeing everyone's reaction, how it played, how simple it was. It took the greatness of 5th edition and streamlined everything to make that old school feel. And I was like, this is the perfect game. But the one thing I will say that I'm going off Shadowdark with is torch timers now, which is the fondest gimmick in it. And I think, and I don't know whether it's the Games Masters is too scared to be as brutal as they should be with the torch timers,
Okay.
or whether they just interfere too much. Because you play a lot more Shadowdark than I do.
Okay.
Because my main group, so my Sunday group and my Tuesday group, they're basically the same players. These are people that I met when I was 16.
That's awesome,
and we've got
dude.
the same
Yes.
group into our 50s.
I love that. I think that's amazing. Dude, I don't know. Do you get the sense that's a rare thing?
I think so.
I think it is too.
I generally think, I talked about it the other week. We lost one, died 20 years ago.
Sorry about
maybe even 25 years ago, something like that. But the rest of us, we're still the same group, and we do joke about what's going to happen, because there is only 5 of us. And then we're going to go down to 4 when one of us dies, and what we're going to do with the character sheets. So we're going to put them in the coffins and stuff, and say goodbye to them. But yeah, I do think it's a rarity, but they're not as into Shadowdark and OSR stuff as I am.
Yeah.
So I only really get to play Shadowdark on my channel,
right?
With people from my channel, because Rob doesn't really like sci-fi, so we don't play a lot of sci-fi because he really dislikes it.
Yeah, same.
And I love sci-fi.
Yeah.
I love medieval stuff mainly over anything,
Yeah, that's my favorite.
And stuff like that.
My classic Western European fantasy is my happy place, but I'll play other stuff. Like there's a ton of other good stuff out there, but if I really want to get in a game that's going to satisfy my soul, then that's what I play.
Yeah. But do you find that, because obviously we were at similar levels, so you have a lot sending you stuff, and do you love it though when you find something you go, just doesn't sound good, and then you're reading it going, this is brilliant. This is absolutely amazing. I need to get this played. But the problem is, you then get another game in, and you forget the one, and then because we haven't got time.
Yeah, there is no time to go through everything that I get, and I actually feel really bad, because I used to be very adamant about responding to everyone who sent me something, like just saying thank you. Like I may not be able to look at this, but thank you. But it's gotten to the point where I just can't manage all the emails anymore. And I start to feel a little bit guilty about not being able to get to everything. But I think, like you said, like I really want to focus on things that I'm genuinely very excited about. And like right now, that's just not a lot of Shadowdark related stuff. So at some point in the very near future, probably in 2026, I'll sit down and really reevaluate my plan for the channel and like the TTRPGs that I'm going to be playing and stuff like that. And I want to try some different stuff, but I personally find it to be the level of effort for me to set up a new game is very high, especially considering most of my games are played online using a VTT, and there's a lot of extra work that goes into the prep for a VTT as opposed to just playing in person. So, and even when I do play in person, I'm still playing on a VTT on the table. We got like a nice TV on the table that we can do all the dynamic lighting and stuff. It's very cool. I actually just purchased it from a friend of mine not too long ago. He no longer is kind of in the hobby, so I got a real steal on a great TV. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. See, I got one of those Beacon Sun tables. So where it all opens out. It's basically
that's
designed
cool.
to put
Yeah.
board games. I bought that just before lockdown. Inspired timing to purchase something like that for all your mates. Then no one can come round for 2.5 years or whatever it was.
Yeah.
But I love the idea of those. Look at the ones on the TVs and stuff. Because when we looked at them, one of my friends looked at buying one, but TVs were still quite thick then. Like you had to have the thing. But nowadays, I'm guessing. So what's it? Is it like a complete flat
It's
screen?
probably maybe like 4 or 5 inches up, raised off of the table. I'll send you a picture of the setup. It's actually gorgeous when it's all working. And I know a lot of people are pretty anti having technology at the table, especially like some of the older folks, which makes sense to me. But yeah, just everybody having like their iPad or on their phone, and they can move their little token around on there, but they can still roll dice physically if they want to. It gives this really awesome experience at the table. You don't have to worry about mapping and stuff. Yeah,
that's good. I just assumed, because when we looked at them,
yeah,
it was just more a map, so you could just, as a games master, you can interactively change the map. I didn't realize that it moves tokens and you can do your dice rolling and everything else.
Yeah, so basically we're just playing Foundry, but we're playing it at the table. So it's been a really cool experience.
I don't know why anyone wouldn't like that. Well, I wouldn't like it because I'd probably be too confused to work out how to do it, because I'm old.
Getting it set up was kind of a pain. It took several hours of trial and error, but once we got it, like once people actually get to the table and they get logged in, it's actually pretty simple to move stuff around. Yeah, and you don't have to do anything on the Discord or on the VT if you don't want to. You can just have me move your token if you want to. You don't have to roll your dice on there if you don't want to. So it's pretty like opt in, opt out.
Cool. I want one of those now.
It's very cool. I'll send you some pictures.
Yeah, it's my birthday at the end of the month. The kids are asking me what I want, and I don't. We buy what we want throughout the year because
Same.
gone
Same.
are the days of you as a kid going, "What do you want for your birthday?" and you'd send like this big list
Yeah.
to your parents, and then buy you 2 items from it, and then you'd be thankful, but deep down you'd be like, "Why didn't you get me more?" As an adult, I just buy what I want as the year goes on now.
Yep. I'm a
And
notoriously difficult person to shop for because if I want something and if I really want it, I'll just go get it. Yeah.
Yeah. But I grew up in this say perfect family for Christmas.
Yeah.
Because we used to buy things and then we'd hand the receipt over as well. Because if people didn't like it, they could take it back.
Yeah.
And but we were quite open about it. And I remember saying to my dad, like, just don't give just give money. Well, we can't give money. So you've got a present and a receipt.
I like that. I think that's a really nice compromise because I do. I also just give me the money and that's fine. But there's something really nice about giving somebody a present that they really enjoy. I think it says something about how much you know about that person and your connection and stuff like that. So I understand that there are people out there that feel like it's a little bit too transactional to just give money. But yeah.
Yeah, but now if someone said to me, what do you want for Christmas? What do you really want?
Yeah.
And I go, okay, there's, let's say Wrath and Glory are bringing out a new game, a new book. And I go, you get that for Christmas. And I'll go, well, can I just buy it now? I'll have nothing at Christmas. That I don't want to wait another 7 weeks to get something that I want today.
Yep, for sure. And also, like with all the Kickstarter stuff going on, it's going to be like a year before you get it anyway. So you're going to have to order today anyway.
Yeah. So what is currently on Will's table? What games are you playing then?
Yeah, so the last game that I run was my Wicked Witch of the Woods one shot that I hope people got to run for Halloween and really enjoyed. I had a great time. I got to run that 3 different times. I ran a solo session with my mom, which was absolutely fantastic.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah, so there's actually a video of it on the channel. We recorded the whole thing. She was just sitting right here next to me, and we played through.
Yeah.
Her first ever TTRPG experience, and she absolutely loved it. And she's like such a natural at the game too. Like she saw all the traps coming. She knew how to deal with most. She didn't know what a mimic was, so that she struggled with that bit a little bit. But she did a great job, and she had a wonderful time. So that was really fun. And then I played with my online group as well, which is really awesome. And then I also got to play with my in-person group using the new table, and that was really exciting.
Oh, amazing! See, you're probably paying too much Shadowdark then, and I don't mean that in the way that, if you are getting bored of it. So what did you play before you got into Shadowdark? What was your thing?
Yeah, so I started with 2nd edition D&D. There was this really awesome starter set that came out that I think TSR put it out, and it was like these little blue minis, and they had this really awesome audio CD that did a lot of narration and stuff. They're these full color fold out maps and stuff. So that's where I started. I did a little bit of 3rd edition back in the day. I took a long break from the hobby, so I totally missed out on 3.5 and 4th edition. I know a lot of people like to talk a little bit of shit about 4th edition, but I honestly think that I would have really enjoyed it if I had been around when it was out. But then I actually came back to the hobby just a couple years before COVID, and we started playing 5th edition again, kind of, I guess, in the wake of kind of Critical Role and Stranger Things. There was this huge resurgence of D&D. And I was like, I had a bunch of people that I had just met at work, and I wanted to get more of a social life going. So I just invited a bunch of people that I worked with to come play. And, that game group is still going strong now, like, I don't know, 8 years later or something like that. So very, very exciting.
So you've never really ventured away from D&D then, other than a bit of Shadowdark?
Yeah, so I did play one other OSR game. 5 Torches Deep was what we played first when I first came back, but we only did a single very short campaign of that game. And while I enjoyed it, Shadowdark has just kind of filled that niche for me. Yeah, so the thing is, like, I appreciate D&D for what it is. I am not a huge fan of 5th edition for a bunch of different reasons I think everybody probably is already aware of. But I will say that D&D Beyond is absolutely incredible, and it makes it really, really easy to get new folks into the game in a very non-threatening way, even though the game is relatively complicated for people who've never played it.
What we need to do then is we need to find fantasy's your favorite genre.
Yes, for sure.
So what we need to do now is find other fantasy books for you to go and read, because then you can review them.
Absolutely.
And talk about something different and play something different.
Yeah, I do have a couple things that I have in mind. I think Dragonbane looks like a very cool system. I absolutely love the art from, I think it's Johan Egerkron's gorgeous stuff. It looks like a pretty simple game to play and get to the table, which is very exciting to me. And then also Nimble, which is by I think Evan Diaz, which came out recently, which is like a very, very streamlined, scaled back version of 5e with a couple core mechanical changes. Those are both things that are on my radar. But if you had any other suggestions, I'm happy to hear them.
Do you like D100? Do you like D100 Roll Under?
Not particularly.
No. I just there's the list, and I'm just you can just visually just crossing it off. So, Dragonbane's going to be an interesting one because you've only ever rolled a d20 then added to it, haven't you?
Yes, correct.
Yeah, so you've never gone under.
Never gone under.
You don't mind a d20 roll under, but you wouldn't do a d100 roll under.
That's interesting. So the thing is, it probably on a virtual tabletop, it probably doesn't matter. I just find D100s unwieldy to use in real life. But with a VTT, it doesn't matter.
All right, because weirdly, I'm not a fan of D20 roll under systems. I think that they're mostly not good.
Interesting. I don't feel like I need any additional layers of like a 5% gradient to me is like I don't need to go any more fine than that. For me personally,
Yeah. So I've always loved D100 systems. Say Warhammer Fantasy Role Playing is my favorite system.
Yeah.
I suppose that just jumping back to why I can jump all over the place with my channel.
Yeah,
I think it's big because my number one game is Warhammer. So I've started off talking about other stuff before I got into obviously into Shadowrun. But Dragonbane confused me because I was like, D100 roll under, absolutely fine. We played Symbaroum. Or Symbaroum, I don't know how to pronounce it.
Close enough.
Which is it's one of the most beautiful books out there.
Yeah, Free League is amazing.
And I actually own it in 5th edition. It's the only 5th edition books I own because I don't like their D20 system, but I love their world.
Gotcha.
But because the D20 roll under doesn't really work very well, and I didn't like it. And then Neil, one of my the long-term players, he was like, we're going to play Dragonbane. And I looked at it and went, Free League. Okay. D20 roll under. You can play a duck. The artwork, it's sort of sarcastic in nature. It doesn't look like it's a serious game. Oh, boy, it's a fucking good one. It's a really, really good game.
It looks really good.
System. Yeah, it's so good. But I don't own any of it because it's near. We have this almost unwritten rule that because we're the same group. So if someone owns something, nobody else buys it. So Makes sense. May buy the core rule book, but you don't. And I was going to go and buy it, and he did the same with me with Blade Runner, because Blade Runner is a really good game. It's a really good use of the Year Zero engine.
Okay.
Because it just uses sort of like D8s, D10s, D12s, and D6s. But again, everything Free League does is just utterly amazing.
Yeah, they have gorgeous production value. I also their Middle Earth game looks very interesting to me as well. I don't know if I really want to play in the world of Middle Earth, but I like the vibe of Middle Earth a lot.
Oh, but it's set at such a good time though. Okay. It's set about 30 years after the Battle of Five Army and about 30 years before the Fellowship of the Ring.
Right.
So you've got this, and it's written really well. So you've got gorgeous. It done in a way that you kind of know what's going on with sort of necromancers and so. Yeah, as a game, as a player, you've got prior knowledge and you kind of know what's going on.
Sure.
But the adventures are written really well, and the Moria book. I need to get the Moria book reviewed. Everyone keeps going. Yeah. Get it done. Because I didn't realize, I never read the books. I ended up reading the last book. So I watched Fellowship of the Ring and absolutely just fell in love with this. And then we had to wait a whole year, didn't we, till the next one came out. And when Two Towers came out, I then went and bought the book. I need to know what happens at the end. Yeah. And I was really shocked because if you've ever read the books, you get halfway through the Return of the King, and it's all done. And then the last bit is them walking back.
Yeah. There's a considerable epilogue at the end of Return of the King, which is really interesting. I don't hate it, but it was definitely a choice.
Yes. Yeah. It was strange, watching Sam becoming the mayor for, I think it's like 13 times. And then Frodo, because when you watch the film, Frodo seems to leave a year or two afterwards, but in the book, it's 10, 15 years, whatever.
They compress a lot of time with
it. Yeah. It's, and I can remember when I first met my wife, she was like, what do you want to watch? And I went, I think you should watch Lord of the Rings. We'll watch this and we'll watch the extended edition.
Good for you.
She was like, was like, "What's this?" She went, "It's 4 hours. I know you've got work in the morning." And we started. I think we started at 8 o'clock, and I say this was a few years ago before I sort of set so much more heavily into work and stuff like that. And we finished at midnight, and she was like, "Can we watch the next one?" I was like, "You got work tomorrow,
dude." That's how you know you got a winner. That's fantastic.
Yeah. So it was good, but yeah, we she full out nerded out, and I think I've ruined her because we'll go to conventions with the kids, and we always dress up at conventions and stuff like that. So deeply missed actually since COVID and lockdown. We haven't really been back to any of them.
Yeah,
and the kids sort of outgrow it. They're sort of like, I don't want to get dressed up anymore.
I understand,
but get the One Ring if you're a 5th edition fan. Maybe get the 5th edition version, but the D12 system is really good because I class it as a D10 because it's just 1 to 10 and with your skill. But if you roll an 11, it's the Sauron. If you roll a 12, it's the Gandalf.
Gotcha.
So it's like it's basically a botch and
makes sense.
A crit.
Yeah, I like that. I think that's cool.
But you've also got the 1 to 10 through the standard rules. But it's good. I'd probably just go and pick up one of the start sets. Get the latest start set.
Yeah, I need something really easy, and I need something that has really good VTT support without me having to do a bunch of stuff on the back end, or else I'm going to get burnt out before I even start running it.
Yeah, I do love buying VTT modules. It makes games so much easier.
Oh, it's so nice.
With Warhammer Fantasy Role Playing, it's such a good system, but I'd never run it around the table.
Interesting. Why is that?
Because it has success levels, so it's D100 roll.
Oh, yeah.
So if you've got 50, so if you roll 50 or less, you succeed. If you roll 40, you get 1 success or 30. But if you roll 33, 2 success levels, 30, 23. And you just have to, it's just an added level where the computer just goes, bidding.
Right.
Pass or fail with 3 success levels. But Warhammer does one of the best things that most other games don't do. So you have this opposed roll when you're attacking.
Yeah.
So you will attack. Let's use the example that they've both got 50-50.
Sure.
50 in attack, 50 in dodge or parry, whichever way they want to go. So you roll 50 and you get a 60. So you've failed by 1 success level.
Mm-hmm.
You've missed. They then roll, and then they roll an 80. They're failed by 3 success levels.
Right.
They've dodged into your hit. You've still hit them.
That's funny.
Because they've failed by more. It's such a brilliant little mechanic. But say it's something added that you have to keep hold on, and because a VTT sorts and does it all for you, it does make it pretty joyous. But I couldn't run it. I was meant to be running your game, local Halloween session. So there's a local gaming thing started up, and I proposed that, and we ended up doing Alien because people didn't know what Shadowdark was. This is the weird thing about role playing clubs. Everyone goes, I'll do D&D. And I was going, I don't really want to run. I don't own anything for D&D other than Sumbaru. So, but I don't even own the core rulebook anymore. So
if you did want to get back into D&D 5th edition, I would strongly consider checking out the Grim Hollow books. Are you familiar with these?
No.
So these are third-party source books made by a company called Ghostfire Gaming. It's the same people
Grim
that
Hollow.
publish.
No, I've had them and I've recently sold them.
Oh, okay. Bummer. I think they're really cool. I love the whole setting. Yeah,
I do. So there was the Beastry, there was the Player's Manual, there's the Games Masters things, and then there was the 6-part box set. Adventure campaign. Yeah. Helen on my Discord.
Oh, cool.
No, it wasn't Helen that bought them. It was someone else that's joined my Discord. She ended up buying them. We were talking. She picked them up on eBay. Off me because I backed all the Kickstarters. I ran those backgrounds and the character creations in my Dungeons and Drakenheim campaign.
Oh, cool! That sounds like a really cool one too. It's the same publisher. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So it's my only ever TPK that I can remember. Mm-hmm. And the campaign I want to say we were about 8 months in, and they were progressing a little bit, and they rolled for something, and I just put in a random encounter. Yeah. And I just put in, I think it was 2 shades I put in. And I have never seen my group roll so appallingly throughout the whole of the encounter. And they would not run away. I was, when you're just there, there's a game master going, they're all dying. they can't roll over a 10. Whatever happens, they just keep failing all their dice rolls. And then one of the players went down, and there was still 2 of the creatures. I'm an open roll games master.
Me too.
I won't change anything
Yep.
that happens, and live and die by the die.
Yep.
And then the second player died, and I was like, just run.
Yeah, just run.
And they were like, we're going to carry on fighting. I'm like,
players hate running more than they hate dying. Is what it comes down to. Yeah.
Yeah, and we got to the and I just killed them all. And they were like, well, that's the end of the campaign then. And I went, well, it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
So we turned the VTT off because it was the end of the night.
Right.
And we were just talking over WhatsApp because I'm a big fan of dialogue with my players in the week.
Yeah.
In between
I like
the
it too.
downtime of things. And private messaging players as well, just to keep sort of a bit of intrigue going.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, we can either stop. I think a good idea. Let's create a bunch of new adventurers. We'll go into the city and go and find the players and stuff. And they went, nah, I don't want to do that. Don't want to do that. I'm just really annoyed that my players had died. I was like, okay. I'd read the Grim Hollow books and I was like, well, how about you get to come back, but you're all going to be cursed. So you can either be a werewolf or vampire. And I was like, here's the books. Go and pick what demon, whatever it is that you want.
Right.
Or you can have a new character. 2 picked new characters that we managed to link in. Other 2 picked these really, really cool demon. And then it becomes real problems because when they're traveling around the city, there's certain areas demons can't enter, like the holy areas and stuff. And they were just standing outside.
Oh, that's an unfortunate side effect of that kind of stuff. It's very cool, but there are limitations.
Yeah. I did. It was a very reluctant sale, but it was more. The space I've got behind me is the space for my role-playing game.
I think that is a great rule.
Yeah, so I'm just... It just stuff comes out. I think I've still got stuff to clear. So, the weird one, when... someone was telling me that Jeff McAleer... I hope this is true, Jeff, don't sue me. That when he sent a book, he'll then sell it, and then he uses that money to go to a convention.
Oh, cool.
Okay. So when I sell something I've been sent, I then give the money to charity because I kind of feel I shouldn't benefit from it.
Yeah, okay.
So I can actually now give it to my gaming group. But if Jeff's doing that, and Jeff's quite big in our area,
dude, he's great. I love it's the gaming gang, right?
Yes,
yeah. He's awesome. I've talked to him a couple times back and forth. Yeah,
I got to interview him, and that was
I saw that.
I was like a gig. I was like a giggly little kid.
That's funny.
And then I got his name wrong right at the end, and I don't normally edit my lives, and I had to just go and edit it out. I can't think what I called him. We were talking about someone else.
Yeah.
And then I called him that name, and then I suddenly realised what I'd done. But yeah, he's a really nice man sitting down.
Yeah, he does.
Just talking to him.
He also seems very genuine. Like he genuinely loves the hobby, even though he's been doing this for 1 million years and he has 1 million videos. Every single time he's looking at something new, I genuinely get the impression that he's like still very much in love with the hobby.
Yeah. But he was one of my big inspirations for this.
Yeah, you told me that.
Well, he told you that.
You told me that.
Oh right, yeah. And he was like, and I was like, it was like, if Jeff can do it, I can do it. And he was like. Because it's not difficult to do. It's just finding time and doing your first video.
Yeah.
Do you ever look back at some of your first videos?
I left my first video up for exactly that reason.
Did you?
Yeah. It's a little tutorial on how to make digital tokens that you can use on your VTT. It's like 5 minutes long or something. Yeah.
Mine was, I think I did my top 3 Games Masters experience in games that I played.
Yeah.
And about 4 people watched it.
Yeah, that's about right. I got really lucky. I think my second video, I did something on Matt Colville and it like got 4,000 views or something and it was good. But then right after that, I got those videos where I got like 10 people watching for like a couple months. It's just part of the process. It takes YouTube a while to figure out who your audience is. So if you're someone who's thinking about starting a channel, please do. I think it's an awesome experience, even if you don't hit it big. I think there's a lot of skills that you learn, a lot of very useful, universally useful skills that you learn doing YouTube stuff. And even if the channel doesn't like work out and make you a lot of money, I think you're still going to cultivate a lot of skills doing it.
Yeah. Did you know the best thing for me
What's that?
The fact, obviously, being a millionaire from this is always the best thing.
No, none of us are millionaires, by the way.
It's honestly the friends that I've made in the last year.
Yeah, 100%.
That I talk to regularly on
Yep.
Discord, the regular comments I get from certain people, subscribers,
Yeah.
and people like that. And I've had, I think, 3 negative comments overall the time.
Very few.
You know, yeah, the community is, because some of my videos, you just know they're not brilliant. It's just an old man just talking to a camera and just saying what he thinks about something. And you know, yours very much the same. I've noticed you've done the same thing as me. When I experimented with editing, like putting in snips from movies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I thought this will be really cool, because you watch people like some of the movie reviewers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like the Critical Drinker and stuff, and they always snip bits in. And you're going, that works really. He's got like 1 million subscribers. It must be the snippets. Snippets didn't really make a difference for me, and it was more effort than it was worth.
Yeah.
I liked it.
Yeah.
But I much prefer to just be raw and just kind of go, because you've stopped doing them as well, haven't you? Putting those.
Yeah. So I those videos where I do that stuff, they actually do better. But but I know that I'm not going to be able to sustain doing that. I have to be very careful about conserving energy. So I'm very conscious about my energy spend versus like the enjoyment that I'm getting, and also how well the videos are doing. So I found, like you, that it was not worth it for me personally to do that. But I did see that there was an improvement when I put extra effort into the editing part.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Because I talked about this on my Discord a while back. I was like, right, that's it. I'm going to cut back to 1 or 2 videos a week. You know, mental health is having a little bit of a bash, and I kind of need to go and look after myself.
Yeah.
And then I suddenly realised that my mental health is better.
Yeah.
Reading books and talking about books.
Yeah.
And I'm considerably happier doing this than not doing this.
Yeah.
And if I start doing professional editing, I'm not going to be able to get as many videos out, and I'm not going to read as many books that I do, and you know, just the enjoyment for the hobby. So yeah, it's a very strange one, that I thought it was overworking this, which was making me miserable. It wasn't. It was actually not doing this.
Yeah, and probably also prioritizing the things that you really wanted to work on, as opposed to doing all the editing and stuff, which sounds like it's not something that you find as fun.
Yeah. But I do this really weird trick that I was talking to Dewan about it the other day, and because his channel's just exploded.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. I did a video ages ago.
That's cool.
Of video of other channels people should check out, and he was sat at something like 200 subscribers, something along those lines. And then people started watching his channel. He's on like 7,000-8,000 subscribers now. Yeah. And we always call him, he's like the Bob Ross of because he just talks about what he's drawing and then talks really calmly over it with amazing editing. And so I record all of my stuff and then I edit it down.
Right.
And all I do, so if I mess a line up, I'll just
and then repeat it.
Yeah. Because then what I'm doing is, when I'm looking at my edit, I'm just looking at the gaps.
Yep.
And he does something similar, but he claps, because then he sees a spike in the thing.
Yeah.
But a lot of people I know just keep going, and then they'll painfully, because I never watch my own videos back.
Oh, interesting. I watch all mine.
Yeah. So it makes my editing quicker.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, I love West. Did you play in Marshall's game? I can't remember.
No, I haven't. I've only played on a handful of them, and they're usually like they're Shadowdark games, and they are the pure fantasy ones.
Yeah. You should probably get in some of the non-Shadowdark stuff.
Probably I should.
And it might just open up to different systems, because you might like all the Suede stuff.
Yeah, that's one I've never really looked at all, actually.
Now, I've avoided it for years because I thought it was a gimmick.
Okay.
And then I found out it's got exploding dice in it, and I was like,
big fan of exploding dice.
Oh yeah, it's the best mechanic out there.
I really like
by
it too.
A long way.
Yeah. Have you looked at Nimble at all yet?
No.
Okay.
I'm gonna write it down, because if I don't, I'll forget. I'm one of those.
Yeah, it's a really interesting one. There's exploding dice in that one as well. I'm in. It also looks, it's like very streamlined, but there's also still like some tactical depth to it, which is something that I really appreciate. Sometimes I feel like Shadowdark's a little bit light on the tactical stuff. That's one that I'm looking at. There's also a new one coming out. I don't know really anything about it. I think it's called like Twilight Sword or something. It's a TTRPG. I think it's being published by Free League. It's very Zelda inspired. So I'm looking forward to that one as well.
Yeah, because this just arrived today, which I've been told that I have to get.
Yeah, dude, I actually want to play this. If you run this, I want to be in that game.
Yeah, I was Mr. Mean. Do you follow Mr. Mean?
I'm not familiar.
No. He was reviewing it, one of the latest ones, and I was
Yeah.
going, I've been toying with this because what put me off was the size of the book because it's
Really?
a little bit small. It's a little bit small,
Okay.
so it's
I
kind of
like that.
tiny writing. Yeah, but
Oh, yeah,
I'm
understood.
old. I'm
Understood.
old.
Uh-huh.
So, but where I buy all my books from, which is Dungeonland here
Hmm.
in, well, not here because I don't live in Blackpool.
Yeah.
We do this thing over in this country at different places where if you buy the physical book from a bricks and mortar place, they send you the PDF as well.
Yeah.
I don't know if you get that in America. So I just use those for every company, and they're really good now. So I place the order on Monday, and by Wednesday it's here. You know, they're
That's
really
awesome.
nice guys. So
Yeah,
they
Fabulous
won't send me
Ultima is
free.
actually one that I've been looking forward to. It's been on my list forever, and I'm
Yeah.
going to try it out. I'm not a huge fan of like the Magitech stuff, and I think that is kind of a core component of the game. So if I ran it, I'd probably remove that. I like a little bit lower tech stuff, but I think that game is actually really interesting, and I'm really eager to hear your review of it.
Yeah, I don't know what Magitech is, so I probably shouldn't have picked this book up.
That's okay. It's just like magical technology.
Okay, that
Yeah.
was going to be my guess.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Well, cool, man. We are coming up on time here. This has been an
okay.
awesome conversation. I'd love to do this with you again in the near future. But is there anything else you want to talk about before we kind of wind down here?
No, but
Okay.
I think I remember pitching to you a while back that we should do a top 10 games.
I would
of
love. Yeah,
something.
let's do it for sure.
And we couldn't manage to get time in because I love doing top 10s. I love watching top 10s.
Yeah.
I love watching other people's top 10s. So yeah, pick a top 10 of what you want to do. We could do fantasy, and you're just going to go 5th edition,
Yeah,
3rd edition.
I don't have a lot. Yeah, I don't have a
edition.
lot of. I don't have a lot of breadth in my catalog, but yeah, I'd love to sit down and do some stuff with you.
Yeah,
for sure.
I was tempted. Do I do a top 10 like albums and stuff? I thought, no one cares. No one cares about what music I like and novels I've read. But I don't know. I
Maybe they
don't know.
would. Maybe it's like the top 10 like media sources that inspire the types of TTRPGs that you like to play or something like that. Yeah. Yeah. Cool, man. Before we go, would you like to let everybody know where they can find you?
Yeah, I'm on Dungeons and Dyslexia on YouTube. Well, it's the same channels for TikTok. My TikTok, my Instagram, and I do a shorts. I take my longs and I cut them into shorts.
Yeah.
And so it's the same thing that goes out. Instagram's terrible. I get about 2 watches a day on Instagram.
Oh, no.
Instagram's just full of OnlyFans people, it seems to be.
There is some good TTRPG stuff on there, but it's definitely like a pretty small niche community. If you're not in the 5e crowd, for sure.
Yeah, it seems to be a lot bigger on TikTok, so my videos do a little bit better on TikTok, and I think there's a little bit more interaction on there.
Yeah.
Obviously got my own Discord, which I'll send links through. So join mine if you're not on Wheels. Join Wheels as well.
Yeah, join both.
Go and do more reviews. Yeah, and do more reviews, Will.
Okay, I got to find something that I'm really excited to look at. Is I think is the big thing. And also, I just really like having having creators come on and talk about their stuff. And I don't have to review anything. I can just ask questions, and it's really easy for me. So
yeah, when I first started doing them, I started doing the review and then releasing the review at the same time, and I was like, it's a lot of extra work because if you just sit back and wait and then have the interview naively talk about it can then make the follow-up interview a lot more. It's easier, but you don't have to do as much research, do you? On
100%.
Review, so.
And I think it's nice too because you get to hear the creator talk about their own thing. People can really see how passionate they are about it. People will connect with the creator in ways that they wouldn't if they were just like reading through the book. I think that's actually like a big social piece to it that people don't really understand. Like when you're publishing your own thing, you really do want to go on and let people see you talking about your stuff. I think it's going to do wonders for sales. I think people are going to like you more. I think that I think it builds a better community in general.
Yeah, definitely. And then you get to sit down with John. I think you've done 2 this week coming out. So I've got to get onto that. The one that you reviewed just before. I can't remember the name of the book.
Soulblight?
Yeah. I love it, but tough read. It's a tough read for me.
Yeah. Just like the color contrast and whatever.
Yeah, and the font used, but he seems like a really cool bloke as well.
Yeah. Also, like just like this really crazy voice too. You just don't expect it. It's like, it was really good. Yeah, all the interviews I've had recently have been phenomenal. I have not had a single bad interview yet, which I think is amazing because I did not expect to go into this and have it be as much fun as it has been.
Yeah, I actually just quick. I know we need to go.
You're good.
I didn't think I ever wanted to do interviews.
Me neither.
I thought
Me neither.
I just want to just talk about what I want to talk about.
Yes.
And like I say, interviews are by far the best thing about it.
Absolutely.
And it's all right for you because you live in America. So if you're going
do.
to a convention, you're going to get to meet some of these people. So
yeah, I'm on the fence about conventions. I don't actually like to travel that much, but I will probably go to some of the smaller ones. I'll probably go to one or two smaller ones just to see how it is. But cause there are some people that I really do want to see in person.
yeah.
But yeah, I'm not a big traveler, so it'll be like a big event for me to go. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and I think Gary Con and North Texas tend to be the ones that people keep telling me.
Yeah. Let me know when you're here for North Texas. That's not too far away from me. I would come out to that one to see you and some of the other folks that are going to be out there.
Just me. Just
you, of course. All right. Well, Adrian, thank you so much for coming on. This is an absolute blast. Like I said, I hope we can do it again in the very near future.
Yeah. No, Will, thanks for having me on.
Yeah.
And we'll get on and I'll get you learning some more fantasy games.
That sounds great. All right. Bye, y'all. Have a good one.
Bye, everyone. Thanks for watching.